Okay, this is going to be a Unit 9 practice work on some equations and some of the linear stuff. Okay, the big thing with this is learning how to use your calculator. Okay, so a couple things is what we want to do is whatever's on this side, when we go in the graph, all right, we're going to put in y1. All right, so I got 3 cube root, oops, not 33, 3 cube root x plus 1, and this next one I'm going to put 12. All right, and if I draw it, I get something like that. Now, one feature you want to be able to use is zoom and auto. If you hit that, you'll see that this is going to eventually intersect. So I'm going to zoom out, execute. All right, getting closer. Zoom out, execute. Zoom out, execute. You want to keep doing that till you get a G-solve intersect. And what that's going to tell me is my answer is 63. And since I only see x, all right, that's what I'm going to write. Okay. Now I want to return my calculator to the standard window. F3 twice will do that. Okay, and I'm back to the standard window. Okay. Let's go to this one. I got square root of x. Okay. With a plus 6 outside, and then a 2 here. All right. So if I look at that, these are not going to cross, and when I get that G-solve intersection, that answer will be no solution. Okay? So you have to sort of look at how the graph will mix in there. Okay, now this next one will be square root 5x minus 4 in that row, and then square root of x in this row. So if I draw that, G-solve intersection, I get x equals 1. And notice I'm only writing the x coordinates and not the y coordinates. Okay, moving on to the last 3. We'll make sure they're in your window here. Okay, wonderful. Okay, same deal. Okay, square root x plus 5 with a minus 2. Then I got 2x minus 4. Draw, G-solve intersect, x equals 2.35. Okay, now this one over here, all right, this one's a little tricky to type in, to be honest. So what you would do is do 2 parentheses, 4x parentheses. Then this is an exponent, so I do exponent, fraction, 1 over 2. Now, what I want to do is hit this over twice so it drops down. Plus 16, okay, on that one, and then 56 on the next row. So make sure that's all in one thing like that. So when I draw, I don't see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go zoom, auto. I'm going to see if I get anything. As you see, I'm starting to. So I'm going to zoom out a bunch. Zoom out, execute. Okay, it's getting there. Zoom out, execute. Okay, zoom out, execute. Zoom out, execute. G-solve intersect. And by doing that, I know I'm going to get 100 on this. You got to just keep zoom auto fix, will get you closer, and then keep zooming out. Now I'm going to F3, exit, draw. I'm going to get back to my standard window. Okay? And then now number 6. Okay, square root of x, then square root of x plus 4 minus 1. Okay, G-solve intersection, get x equals 2.5. Okay, so now what you want to do, go ahead and pause the video and now practice. Okay, now I'm going to go over these other ones, but you should be practicing these on your own, and so you can see the answers. Okay, so number 7, I'm going to type 4 cube root x plus 1. 8 on the next row, draw. Okay, and actually got that one right away. G-solve intersect. Some you'll get right away, some you'll have to zoom out. So that's going to be 7. Okay, then this one right here, number 8. All right, square root x, okay, plus 7 and 4. G solve intersect, that's going to be no intersection or no solution. Okay. Number 9. Okay, square root 6x minus 1, square root of x, G solve intersection, x is 0.2. Okay, moving on to the last 2 questions, the last 3. Okay. Once again, you should have done these already. This is just if you need help seeing what you do on them. Okay, square root x plus 6 minus 1, 3x minus 5, G solve intersect, x is 2.29. Okay, here's a challenging one right here. Okay, I'm going to go delete, 3 parentheses 2x parentheses, exponent, fraction button, 1/2, over twice. So I drop down, plus 10, and then 40 on this side. As you draw, I don't see anything, so I'm going to zoom, zoom, auto. Okay, and I see now I just got to keep working at it. Zoom, out, execute. Zoom, out, execute. Okay, zoom, out, execute. And I want to do it till I have a cross G solve intersect. I get 50 on this one. All right, x equals 50. Okay, now I'm going to return my calculator, F3 twice, exit draw, and I'm back to normal. Okay. All right, square root of x on that one, square root of x plus 1 with a minus 1 outside. G solve intersect, I got x equals 0 on that. So that's the practice of those first 6 questions. Okay, moving on to question 13. Okay, all right, it says mark your solutions. Our solutions will be where the intersections are. So here and here. Okay, don't outthink yourself on that. Okay. All right, what are the solutions to the following system? Okay, now the key thing is you want to get this one in y equals. So let me make sure you can see that. Okay, you want to get this in y equals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the x squared. Now if it's x squared on this side, then when you move it, it would be negative x squared on the other side. Now, since I have this squared, that's going to be a square root of both sides with a plus and minus. So what ends up happening here is I got plus and minus, negative x squared plus 25. All right? Now, here's how you graph this. Okay? This is how you graph this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put x squared minus 5 in there. That's fine, because that's already in y equals. I'm going to start with just the positive square root. Negative x squared plus 25. And I'm going to draw it. Okay? And I'm going to do G solve, intersect. I got negative 3, 4, and 3, 4. So negative 3, 4, and 3, 4. Now, I'm putting x and y because I see x and y. Okay? All right, then what I'm going to do is how I'm going to address the negative. I'm going to put a negative in front of the square root. This will deal with the bottom part. G solve intersect. 0, negative 5. So that's how you do that. So you have to account for a positive square root and a negative square root, but I would do them separately. Okay? All right? All right? Now these, what you want to do, okay, is I want to get y by itself. So this will move, and this will move. So what I'll have here is I'll have 4y equals negative 2x squared, negative 5x, and positive 8. Okay? Now, to get rid of the number in front, I just divide the whole thing by 4. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to put that into the calculator in a second. This one, I would keep the y, okay, and I would move the 2x and become negative 2x. I would move the negative 1, it would become positive 1. And if you want to, you could, because there's really a 1 in front of y, is divide them both by 1, okay? So, how I would put that into the calculator, so you minimize error, is to not reduce it. Let your calculator and the fraction button help you. So I do fraction button, negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 8. All right, and on the bottom I put 4. They will do the math for you in this. Same thing here. I'm negative 2x plus 1 all over 1. If I draw, I get that. G solve intersect. One answer, I have x and y, so I got negative 0.85 and 2.70. And then the other one, when I hit over, is 2.35 and negative 3.70. All right, now, this is where you have to look at your question. Identify the y coordinate. So I would have y is 2.70 and y is negative 3.70. And that's what I would make in my answer, okay? Write the solution and sketch a picture, okay? What's nice is these are already in y equals. So what I would just simply do, okay, is just type them in. X squared minus 6x minus 9 and negative x squared plus 2x plus 3. Draw. Now, as you can see, this one crosses here. This one's probably going to cross. So I'm going to zoom out, execute. So I can see both intersections. G solve intersect. I got negative 1.16 and negative 0.67. This other one would be 5.16, negative 13.32. 5.16, negative 13.32. Okay? And what I would do very simply, I'm not going to be overly picky on this. What you would do is something like this. All right? You go here, right? And you would do something like that. If you do something like that, I'd be fine with it as long as it resembles a picture. Okay? Now, what I would do is pause your video and practice the remaining questions. Okay? And you should have paused the video, you should have done it. Now here are how you do the solutions. Very simply, mark an X on the intersections, there and there. That's all I had to do on that one. Okay. What I want to do, this one's already in y equals. This one would be y squared equals negative x squared plus 36. All right, I would take the square root of that with a positive and a minus. So what I'm going to have to enter is a positive square root of negative x squared plus 36, and then a negative square root. Okay, so very simply, I would type in x squared minus 6, and then I would do positive square root, negative x squared plus 36, draw, G solve intersect. Negative 3.31 and 5. If I hit over, 3.31 and 5. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and put a negative in front of that square root. And we get the bottom part of the circle. 0, negative 6. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the 2y over here. I'm going to move this, so it'll be negative 4x squared. I'm going to move the 8x, which will be negative 8x. The negative 6 becomes positive 6. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide all those by 2. Okay? So I'm going to put that with y equals. This one, that's 1y equals. I'm going to move the 3x, it'll be negative 3x. I'm going to move the negative 1 to become positive 1, just change the signs. And I would divide that one by 1. Okay? So when I go into the calculator, okay, negative 4x squared minus 8x plus 6 all over 2. And fraction button, negative 3x plus 1 all over 1. Draw. All right, G solve intersect. I get negative 1.28 and 4.84. And I hit over to get the other one, which would be 0.78 and negative 1.34. Okay? Once again, this question asks for the y-coordinate. So you should be ready to mark on your paper 4.84 and negative 1.34. Okay? And then let's go on to the last and final question. Okay? So both are in y equals already, so I'm good. Okay? So I got x squared minus 3x minus 9. Okay, negative x squared plus 3x plus 4. I would draw it. Okay, G solve intersect. I got negative 1.45 and negative 2.5. And then if I hit over, I get the other one, which would be 4.45, negative 2.5. So what you want to do is, it would be, just emulate the picture, something like this. Okay? All right? And if you just know your calculator skills, remember what you want to do is, if you get in your window, reset your window as F3 twice. When you draw something, if you want to zoom auto, okay, that will sometimes zoom out. It will sometimes give you a better picture. Okay? All right? And it should be pretty easy to do.